When I last left off, I was standing in the middle of a rain-soaked alley, facing a group of armed men. Ravi, the driver of the suspicious sedan, had been pulled into their midst, fear evident in his eyes. And I? I was caught in the eye of the storm, outnumbered, outgunned, and with my backup still a few minutes away. The tall man had given a cold, calculating order, and Ravi was being dragged away by one of the goons. But I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't let them take him, or let the situation escalate further. I drew my gun. "Stop!" I shouted, my voice echoing off the alley walls, the rain drowning out the sound of the street. The men froze for a moment, their hands instinctively moving toward their weapons. My heart was racing, my grip tight on the sidearm. This was it. A single wrong move could turn this whole thing into a firefight. The tall man spoke again, his voice smooth but laced with menace. "You really think you can stop us?" His smirk sent a shiver down my spine, but I refused to show weakness. "I won't ask again," I said, my voice firm. "Step away from him, now!" The group was silent for a tense moment, and for a split second I thought they might back off. But the tension in the air was palpable. Then out of nowhere, one of the men on the far side of the alley made a move. He reached for his gun. Everything happened in a blur. I was already moving, ducking behind a nearby dumpster, just as a shot rang out. The sound echoed off the walls, and I felt the rush of adrenaline flooding my veins. The bullet missed me by mere inches, hitting the wall just above my head. I fired back in the same instant, my hand steady despite the panic building inside me. My shot landed in the air, more of a warning than anything else, but it stopped the others in their tracks. The tall man yelled something in anger, but I couldn't make it out over the pounding rain and the rush of my own heartbeat. In the chaos, I saw Ravi. He was still struggling in the grip of one of the armed men. But then, something strange happened. The tall man gave a sharp command, and the group started pulling back, retreating toward the shadows. Before I could process what was happening, they were gone, vanishing into the rain and darkness. For a moment, I just stood there, confused. What just happened? Why had they backed off so suddenly? I didn't have time to think about it. I rushed over to Ravi, who was still in shock. He looked at me with wide eyes, disbelief and fear written all over his face. "Are you all right?" I asked, my voice softening as I holstered my weapon. I could hear the sirens getting closer. He nodded slowly, still trembling. I don't know what just happened. Who were they?" I shook my head. "I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out." As the sound of police sirens grew louder, I realized something. This wasn't just an ordinary traffic stop. This was part of something bigger, a mystery that went far deeper than I could have ever anticipated.